let's queer up entertainment. Noel Coward's timeless classic, Mad About the Boy, still strikes a chord. Mad About the Boy, a song first performed in 1932 in the musical revue Words and Music by British playwright and songwriter Noel Coward, is approaching its 100th anniversary. This timeless piece has been reinterpreted by numerous artists and resonated with countless listeners over the decades. In its original performance, several women sang the song while queuing for a cinema expressing their infatuation with a matinee idol. The song's theme of unrequited love struck a chord with many, including gay listeners of the time, who often dealt with unexpressed romantic longing. Coward, born in 1899 to a piano salesman and his wife in a suburban London city, showcased his talent for performance from a young age. Appearing in West End at 12 and writing his first play at 20. Mad About the Boy is notable for its emotional depth, reflecting Coward's own unspoken desires as a gay man in an era when being openly gay was impossible. Although Coward added verses for a male character when Words and Music moved to Broadway, these were deemed too risqué and barred from performances. Among the song's many covers, Dinah Washington's 1952 and 1961 recordings stand out, with the latter produced by Quincy Jones. Washington's rendition gained a renewed popularity in a 1992 Levi commercial, introducing the classic to a new generation. Yul Bryner performed it in drag in the 1969 movie The Magic Christian. Mad About the Boy has since been covered by various artists, including Adam Lambert, who performed it on Strictly Come Dancing in 2022. This performance featured two male dancers embodying a vision Coward might have only dreamt of. I see folks like this all the time, seniors who lived in this era where it was outright impossible, super dangerous, way more dangerous than it is now. Mm-hmm. And these folks have PTSD. And I see them all the time. They don't understand how young people are, okay with being out, and the guys that are a little more flamboyant, or the women who are a little more butch. In their era, it was impossible. So I think that Mad About the Boy is the perfect example of a progression of how a song that was first performed in 1932 mm-hmm. had a certain impact and meaning at that time. And now we're hearing that song as Noel Coward would have wanted us to hear it. Mm-hmm. And it's, for me, I think it's really wonderful.
Yeah. You said 1932, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Vaughn, where were you when the song came out?
Wasn't even thought of yet.
Or as my mom would say, in Egypt picking corn.
Yeah. Oh. The point that you made about we'll call them seasoned
exactly
LGBTQ plus
mm-hmm. We're using that word now.
I think it's interesting that a lot of us kind of fall into this middle category, this middle generation, where mm-hmm. it needs to be our mantle to take up and our responsibility to share the history and the stories. And like gay songwriters from the early 1900s, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So unless we're telling the stories, unless we're sharing that with your shows, I know that you are a big advocate of gay culture. And
yeah, I do this song all the time.
Every week, right? But yeah, the baby gays need to know.
We're working on an oral history project, so when we get closer to the details about that, I'll talk about it.
You take the history, I'll take the oral.
Yeah,
I think it's interesting because you kind of summed it up in a way, but we talk about the younger gays today that mm-hmm. If it wasn't for these people that did this, I mean, we're standing on their shoulders.
Right,
And
absolutely.
I think that's part that we also have to recognize. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a lot of them.
Right.
You know, when you were a little kid and somebody would put you on their shoulders, you couldn't really see whose shoulders you were riding on. Your perspective was up here. This is what you saw. And so we have to recognize that there is this middle section of people who need to connect. Those who are down here and those who are up here. We need to be reflective and show them what the history is. That's what we're doing for Pride Fantasia. We're talking about the history of the Stonewall riots on June 12th. Get your tickets, MatthewDarren.com. But I think that's really important. It's instead of letting the older community and the younger community kind of battle it, they don't understand us. We have to say, well, there's a reason because you have different perspectives.
Both communities had it very difficult.
Very different.
It just looks different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.